On the 6th anniversary of my marriage, I realized it was over. Calmly, I slid the divorce papers across the candlelit dinner table to Evelyn. Her eyes glistened red as she begged me to reconsider, whispering if this was about the kids. I forced a hollow smile and pulled out the photos I had hidden beneath our bed. Don't bother. I had a vasectomy 6 years ago, I said, my voice cold as ice. Go take care of those twins you paraded on the morning show. After all, they're your real family. My phone buzzed. Mom and Dad calling just as I was setting up for our anniversary dinner. Through the line, my sister Samantha's choked sob filled the room. Logan, does Evelyn hate me? I opened my mouth to defend her, but the memory of Evelyn's disgusted sneer whenever children were mentioned stopped me cold. I'm sorry, Sam, I said softly. I'll talk to her when she gets home. Just hang in there. Didn't you make it onto that competition show? She asked between sobs. No. She replaced me with the twins. The world spun. I grabbed the wall and slid down to the floor as the truth slammed into me like a physical blow. Twins again. For 2 years, Evelyn had spoken endlessly about those kids, her voice softening in a way she never did for anyone else. Once, I'd asked her, I thought you hated children? She just rolled her eyes. Parker and Paisley are different. Little angels, not brats. Hope, treacherous and warm, flickered in my chest. Maybe she wasn't against motherhood, just bad kids. That night, sweaty and spent, I pulled her close, whispering, Evelyn, what if we had a child? Mom and Dad could help. They'd raise them right. No tantrums. She shoved me away violently, eyes flashing with pure revulsion. Logan, I told you before we married. No kids. What's wrong with you? Stunned, I backpedaled. Sweetheart, I'm sorry. You just seem so happy talking about the twins. Parker and Paisley are different. She snapped, scrambling out of bed. I'm sleeping in the guest room from now on. Don't trust you not to try something. The warmth drained instantly. Leaning against the wall, I sighed wearily. My gaze caught a glint beneath the bed. A small, sturdy lockbox coated in dust, but clearly handled often. Heart pounding, I entered Evelyn's birthday code. The lock clicked open. Inside, thick stacks of photos. The first took my breath away. Evelyn, exhausted but radiant in a hospital gown, 2 tiny naked newborns nestled beside her. A boy and a girl, twins. The blow felt physical. My hand shook as I lit a cigarette. The smoke did nothing to steady me. I rifled through maternity shots, birthday parties, and pictures of Evelyn holding hands with a man I recognized faintly. Peter Bennett, my senior executive assistant. The crushing, cold truth settled over me. My wife had 2 children. Those children were the twins shining beside her on my TV screen. 1,000 puzzle pieces snapped into place, revealing a grotesque picture of betrayal, not relief. Fury and humiliation roared inside me. Teeth chattering, I dialed her number. Logan, what's up? Just wrapping up a segment. Crazy busy. Her voice came through, effortlessly sweet, even flirty once. Now it left me numb. I forced out the words. Samantha earned her spot on Spotlight Talent after months of practice. Call me if you cry. Evelyn's voice turned brittle, sharp. What does she know? She'd ruined the choreography. I trembled. So how did the twins qualify? They're younger than Samantha. Evelyn stammered defensively. Twins are a draw. People love twins. You wouldn't understand, Art. The line went dead before I could respond. Samantha's tears echoed in my ears. Photos of Evelyn, swollen with another man's children, mocked me from the floor. Our anniversary celebration felt like a sick joke. While I was building a future, Evelyn had built a secret family with Peter Bennett. Twins perfect and hidden. What was I? A fool funding their lies. I grabbed the photos, my keys, and drove straight to my parents' home in Connecticut. Mom, Dad, I'm divorcing Evelyn. Their faces paled as they glanced at Samantha, sobbing on the sofa. Evelyn went too far. Dad began cautiously. But divorce over Samantha? We'll keep visits down. It's not about Samantha, I choked out. Evelyn has 2 kids. Peter Bennett's kids. I slammed the photos onto the coffee table, pulled up the morning show clip on my phone, pointing to the twins flanking Evelyn. Them. Her twins. Shock, raw and absolute, washed over their faces. Evelyn's name flashed on my phone. Ignoring my parents' horrified stares, I declined the call. I found my lawyer. Drafted divorce agreement. Stat. When I returned to our Manhattan penthouse with the papers, Evelyn was bustling around the kitchen, cheerful. Honey, she chirped, unfazed by my earlier absence. The anniversary feast's almost ready. She turned, wearing an apron carelessly tied over just lingerie. A calculated invitation, but where desire should have sparked, nausea flared. 6 years of perfect wifehood flashed before me. Midnight coffees during crunch times, homemade lunches delivered to the office, shutting down her friends who teased her about my long hours. Now the gourmet spread lay untouched. Evelyn sensed the coldness and slid onto my lap, skin unfamiliar in its eagerness. "Hubby," she purred, tracing patterns on my chest. I recoiled, sending her stumbling. Her knee cracked on the marble floor, reddening instantly. "Logan, get a grip," she snapped. "I know you're upset about Samantha, but look at all this food. What more do you want?" I gripped the divorce papers, but held back. Fury warred with a colder curiosity. She'd lied for years. Walking away felt insufficient. I leaned down, voice dangerously soft. "The twins, Evelyn. What I want is to understand the twins. You hate kids, you exiled Samantha. Yet you champion Parker and Paisley." I locked eyes with her. "Unless they're yours?" Her face froze, color draining fast. Evelyn's laugh was brittle, too high. "Logan, what kids?" "Me? You know I can't stand them." "A bad joke." She scrambled up. "Gotta run. Show stuff." She practically bolted to the bedroom, then minutes later emerged in street clothes, avoiding my eyes as she flew out the door. Defeated, trapped, I smiled humorlessly. I called my assistant. "Spotlight talent. Replace the twin segment immediately. Feature Samantha Evans and Sarah Shaw instead. Erase all promos with Evelyn and the twins." By evening, my phone buzzed. Muffled cries of children filled the background. Evelyn sounded ragged. "Logan, what the hell did you do? Parker and Paisley are devastated. They told their whole class. How could you?" Then I heard it over the din. A child's voice clearing a throat. "Mommy, make him stop." Peter's low growl, cursing me, sparked grim satisfaction. I kept my tone light. "Found a little box under our bed today. Locked. Used your birthday." Silence. Her whisper trembled, suffocating. 5 years. Must have been exhausting. I pictured it vividly. Fielding my calls while pumping breast milk. Admirable. The twins were 4, starting preschool. I wondered what they told their friends about Daddy. A sob tore from her throat. The phone clattered. Peter snarled, "Right. Evelyn's mine. Sign the papers, and if you touch my kids." His voice dropped menacingly. "Remember RD for Project Horizon? Leak that vulnerability, and your precious project tanks." Your call. Security footage filled my screen. Evelyn collapsed on a worn sofa in Peter's cramped apartment, head buried in hands. Peter stood over her, foam clenched, flanked by 2 wailing toddlers, his expression pure triumph. I almost laughed. Did this fool really think he'd outsmarted me? Those secrets he'd scraped together were bait, carefully laid. Finding out he was the father only tightened the net around him. Sweeter than ever. After the blow-up, Evelyn vanished for the holiday weekend, presumably holed up with Peter and the twins. Fine by me. My orders were in motion. The twins segment was dead. Discreet pressure applied at their preschool ensured a swift exit. Business carried on smoothly. Peter remained employed, oblivious. Tech startups hungry for talent circled my rising company constantly. We paid top dollar, offered unmatched perks. Poaching was rare, but Peter's greed made him sloppy. His data snooping landed on my desk months ago. I let him dig, laying a path paved with fool's gold. Now he sprinted down it. Evelyn, however, staring at our wedding photo on my desk, brought only a weary ache. I dropped it in the trash just as she walked in, clutching a thermos. She froze. "Logan," she said softly, placing the thermos carefully. "You're working on holiday. Pour you. Coco Van, your favorite." Her voice faded as I met her gaze. No smile, no warmth, just a question. How does she stand here knowing what I know? After hiding her secret family. After nights spent in Peter's bed. She flinched, finally dropping her eyes. Silence stretched. She nudged the dish toward me. "Logan," she ventured. "Parker and Paisley, they're heartbroken. Crying themselves sick. They're just babies. They had such big dreams about being on TV." Her plea felt scripted, rehearsed. Yet instead of anger, a strange clarity washed over me. Of course, Evelyn only surfaced when she needed something. Hope hadn't brought her back. Desperation had. I watched her pathetic performance. The raw need in her eyes. Just as her face lit with hope I might yield. I swept the thermos contents into the trash. The clatter echoed loudly. I met her stunned gaze. Samantha cried to Evelyn after she crushed her dream. Who comforted her? Evelyn left, face pale and empty. Watching her go brought no satisfaction, only bone-deep sorrow. 8 years. 6 married, 2 dating. Evelyn orbited me like a dedicated moon. I once asked, worried, does this get old? Just us? She'd snuggle closer, eyes shining. Never. I love you. I need you. She pressed my hand to her heart. Feel that? That's all for you. That night, tangled in sheets, she traced patterns on my skin. Logan, I mean it. I want forever with you. She met my eyes. Fierce and vulnerable. Anything but children, okay? Everything else is yours. Looking at her then, love overflowing, parenthood seemed secondary. A sacrifice I'd gladly make. The next day, I got the vasectomy. For 6 years, I took the public blame for our childless state. My parents, both esteemed university professors, sighed but respected my choice. Samantha learned to tiptoe around her sister-in-law, fearing her disdain. Our family bent over backwards to accommodate Evelyn's truth. What fools we were. My phone buzzed. Evelyn's Facebook update, a bright photo. Peter and Paisley on one side, Parker on the other. Evelyn, center stage, beaming. Taken by a fourth person, no doubt. Peter captioned it. My sunshine. Sunday perfect into a tough week. So grateful for my family. I stared at her radiant smile. The promises echoed poisonous now. Sugar-coated arsenic. Just like her. After the holiday, my lawyer finalized the papers. I texted Evelyn. Signed the divorce papers. Waiting on the hall table. Her reply pinged instantly. Logan, honey, what is this? I silenced her calls and blocked her messages. That evening, she stood in our living room. She moved to embrace me. I stepped aside. Hurt flashed across her face. Darling, are we really? I sank onto the sofa, exhaustion pulling at me. Did you truly think I'd stay knowing you gave Peter Bennett 2 children? She winced at his name. I told you before we started. No secrets, no other families. My one condition. I gave a bitter laugh. Seems you saved the children for Peter. Guess he truly inspired you. Evelyn crumpled to her knees. How can you say that? You know how I feel about you. I met her desperate gaze. The question haunted me since finding the box. Why wasn't I enough? Wasn't our life enough? Why shackle herself to Peter Bennett? Silence stretched. Taking it as weakness, she crawled forward, clutching my hand. Logan, it wasn't planned. You were away. That launch in London. Remember? 5 years ago, I got drunk. So lonely in your office. Peter offered to take me home. I was wasted. I woke up and I cut her off, voice glacial, and conveniently kept hooking up for months, accidentally conceiving twins. I met her wide-open eyes. I knew the timeline. The nanny's statements and Peter's travel matched. One drunken slip. Tragic, forgivable maybe, but a calculated affair over months, while she poured honey in my ear over satellite calls. No excuse existed. She wasn't worth inventing one. Tears streamed down Evelyn's face. Seeing my resolve, she did the unthinkable, pressed her forehead to the floor at my feet. A grotesque parody of submission. Please, Logan. I'll die without you. A desperate bargaining chip surfaced. Is it the children? Want a baby? I'll do it. Reverse the vasectomy. We can have our child. Repulsion surged. I stepped back. I had the procedure for a reason. Fatherhood didn't tempt me. My words were ice shards. Use your energy on Parker and Paisley. The twins you actually bore. She scrambled, grabbing my ankle. Peter means nothing. The kids. I only stayed connected for them. Let me bring them here. Cut Peter out. You can be their dad. I swear. Horror dawned. It was all about her salvation, her comfort. The children pawns. Their father expendable, interchangeable. How had I missed this selfish rot? I yanked free, hauling a bag of clothes to the door. The divorce papers sat stark on the hall table. Sign them. Deal with my assistant. I'm done with you. Slamming the door behind me, I vomited violently into the penthouse building's immaculate bushes. Driving to my parents' Connecticut home, I collapsed on my childhood bed. I slept like the dead. Hours later, my phone screen glowed with dozens of missed calls and a cascade of texts bypassing the block. Apologies, love bombing, naked pleas for mercy. I deleted them in one swipe. Accidentally hitting the keyboard, an immediate call came through. More desperate texts flooded in. One screamed, "Take me back, or I'll jump." Wearily, I typed, "Fine." Then jump. The messages stopped. Defeated by my silence. Evelyn embraced her new narrative. Her Facebook exploded with a sunny park photo. Evelyn and Peter each holding a twin, radiating domestic bliss. Friends commented in confusion. Evelyn, who are these kids? When? How? Her replies were breezy. Meet our miracles. Peter's my rock. Moving forward. A college buddy called. Dude, is Evelyn nuts? Ditching your life for Peter Bennett and kids? I thought she was ride or die child-free. I was reviewing Horizon Intel when I saw Peter actively poaching key engineers, whispering about Horizon's imminent demise under my leadership. If they didn't jump ship, he was marching straight into the kill box, holding the poisoned intel I'd gifted him. Back in the office, Peter stormed past my assistant, slamming a resignation letter on my desk, chest puffed. How's it feel, Logan? Wife's gone, kids aren't yours, and your flagship project. He smirked. Whispers rippled through the glass walls. Peter's got Horizon code. Taking it to Titan Tech. Logan's done. I let it simmer. Peter waved his phone. Evelyn arrived moments later, twins clutching her hands, avoiding my eyes. Peter gestured grandly. How about it, Logan? Sign my release. And hers. He sneered. Stop dragging your feet. I smiled, utterly calm. Let's go. Sign both. Evelyn flinched. Today. Civic Center Courthouse. Evelyn rode silently in my Tesla. At the courthouse steps, she froze, gripping the twins' hands too tight, as if she were the victim, the betrayed. I walked past her without a glance. Peter was parking as we emerged. Evelyn called out as I turned toward my waiting Uber. Logan, one thing. Divorce is final, assets protected. I owe her nothing. Still, go on. She hesitated, then blurted. The twins, they're innocent. Please don't hurt them. I stared incredulously, then barked a laugh. Evelyn, we're divorced. Why would I waste a second on Peter's kids? You have your money. I have my freedom. That's our deal. She whispered, thank you, but I was already in the car. The Horizon launch gala was my victory lap. The event buzzed with excitement. The unveiled system wasn't just innovative. It redefined possibilities. Investors jostled for meetings. Titan Tech, Peter's new employer, scrambled. Within days, they released Xenon, a near-carbon copy of Horizon priced 20% lower. Budget-conscious clients flocked to Titan. Loyal clients, trusting me, chose Horizon. Titan's numbers soared. Peter swaggered across the gala floor, champagne flute raised. Cheers, Logan. You're my damn good luck charm. Wife, kids, CEO track. All thanks to you. He waited for me to flinch. I clinked his glass. Actually, I should thank you, Bennett. My smile was predatory. You've got a knack for collecting the things I toss away. An efficient little recycling bin. Fury darkened his face. Before he could retort, a Titan engineer ran in, pale and shaking. Mr. Bennett. Xenon's crashing everywhere. He shoved his phone at Peter. Social media exploded. Xenon fail, Titan scam, Bennett thief. Simultaneously, articles went viral detailing Peter's theft of Horizon IP. Leaks were traced to his own boasts. Peter whirled on me, realization dawning. You set me up. The vulnerability was fake. You knew. Took you long enough. I said quietly, police officers. Mr. Bennett, you're under arrest for theft of trade secrets and corporate espionage. Titan Tech CEO, Mr. Stevens, arrived as Peter was cuffed. He looked 10 years older, shoulders slumped. He met my eyes and managed a grim smile. Well played, right? A masterclass. We never stood a chance. The crowd shifted like a living thing. Titan's clients fled. Horizon's price became irrelevant. It was now the only viable system. My net worth skyrocketed overnight. Evelyn found me leaving the Pierre Hotel with a Saudi investor. She looked broken. Threadbare coat, frayed jeans. The twins' hands clasped in hers looked thin. The aura of wealth and power around me seemed to hold her back. Logan, she stammered, finally stepping closer. Could you lend me something? Parker and Paisley's tuition. Peter's gone. I can't cover it. Seeing her humbled by a few $1,000s felt surreal. I ushered her to my private office and placed $3,000 in crisp bills on the desk. She gasped. Logan, I cut her off. Keep it. Consider it hush money. Your price never crosses my path again. She blinked, stunned. That's it. You're paying for silence. Your absence. I pressed the intercom. Jane, please escort Miss Evans out. She stared, mouth working soundlessly as my assistant gently guided her away. Watching her small, battered frame lead the twins down the skyscraper's marble steps, I felt only release. Finally free. Much later, I heard snippets. The twins bullied at school, Evelyn defending them, only to be mocked as the fallen socialite who traded a billionaire for a convicted felon. Outwardly, she coped. Inwardly, they said she broke. Whatever. It wasn't my circus. Raising a glass of 30-year Macallan to the glittering Manhattan skyline, I smiled. My future, unburdened, stretched gleaming before me.